Hello and good morning, class. Welcome back to English 10. Next slide, please. Okay. Before we begin with our class, let me ask you a moment of silence to everyone, and let us all bow down our heads for our opening prayer. Let us all pray. Thank you so much for that. Next slide, please. Okay. Now, before we run through the whole lesson, let me remind you some of the etiquettes and the rules that you need to remember in order to make our learning journey more meaningful and more productive. Some of them are: respect each other. It means respect your teacher as well as your classmate, listen attentively and follow the instructions given to you. And when you are trying to speak, kindly raise the virtual hand and wait for you to be acknowledged. Second is kindly turn off your microphone in order for you to avoid any unwanted noise or unnecessary distractions. And lastly is kindly make use and be responsible of the chat box. Kindly use the chat box in this Zoom class for that is related and class matter. Is that clear, class? Okay, very good. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. Now, let me check the attendance of the class before we run through the whole lesson. Okay. Seems like everyone is present today. That is very good, class. So I assume everyone has already taken their breakfast, coffee, in order to be productive for today's lesson. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, now I am going to ask you a question that is, of course, relevant to our topic for today. Is that clear? Okay, the question will be, what comes in your mind when you heard of the word talking or presenting in front of the crowd? Anyone from the class, please? Yes, Miss Aloro. Yes, that is correct. Miss Alora has already give a hint of what is the topic or the lesson for today. Next slide, please. Okay. Now, since Miss Aloro has already given his idea about what it is like to be talking or presenting in front of the class. Now, of course, our topic is all about public speaking. It is clear that our topic for today is public speaking upon the hint or the answer of Miss Alora. Okay, what is public speaking? Public speaking is delivering a speech in front of a large audience in a formal situation. It is communicating ideas with others through words as well as actions. And public speaking is also communicating with the audience directly to create ideas in the mind of others with the use of facial expressions and stimuli of words and movements. And public speaking is also called oration or oratory. Mom, what is oration or oratory? Oratory is the process of communicating information to a live audience. The type of information communicated is deliberately structured to inform, to persuade, and to entertain. Now, moving on, Aristotle here introduced the first rules of public speech. This includes, we have the ethos, the logos, and the pathos. What is ethos? Ethos is the credibility of the speaker. Logos is the logical arrangement of the words or sentences, and pathos is the ability to create a connection between the speaker and the audience. It's the clear, class? Are you following? Okay, moving on to Cicero's 5 canon rhetoric. What is Cicero's 5 canon of rhetoric? In Cicero's 5 canon of rhetoric, he introduces this, including invention, arrangement, style, memory, and delivery. So invention is the developing of the ideas, expanding your ideas into a more structured arrangement is the creation of the structure. It is very much essential to be it is very much essential for your speech to be a well structured, especially it should be formal. And the style, the process of determining how to present an argument or a speech. The memory, the process of learning and memorizing the speech and making it natural. The more you memorize, the more you familiarize, and the more you learn about the speech, the more you are confident to deliver it to the crowd. And lastly, the delivery, the effective use of voice and body language. It is very much also important to very clear in your language use, your voice, and the body language because it is clearly see through your deliberation. Okay, is that clear, class? Very good. Next slide, please. Okay, I assume that everyone has gained learning about public speaking, the techniques and the factors. And now the class will be grouped into three, and each group will be given a jumbled written words. They will arrange it and they will describe the hidden words. Is that clear, class? Okay, just follow the instruction given to you. Okay, now that you are done with the task that I have given to you, I am going to ask some questions. Okay, based on your activity, can you recognize the factors in public speaking? Anyone? Yes. Thank you for that, Miss. Okay, some of the factors in public speaking includes the ethos, the pathos, and the logos. Very good. Thank you so much for that. How about how do you think are we able to deliver a good speech? Anyone? Yes, truly. In order for us to deliver a good speech, we need to bear in mind the factors. We should also employ the techniques in public speaking in order for our speech to be delivered in a very well-mannered, in a structured way. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, now moving on to the summarization of the lesson. When we say public speaking, it is about, in a simplest word, public speaking is all about talking in front of the crowd. It is a delivering speech in front of a large audience in a formal situation. It could be entertain, to persuade, and to inform. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide pa. Okay, now I think you have already mastered what are the factors, what are the techniques that is needed to be familiarized in public speaking. And now I assigning a task to each one of you. You are tasked to construct your own speech. At least minimize the paragraph into 2 or 3 paragraphs. You can choose any type of speech. It could be to entertain, to inform, or to speech to any that you like or to any that suits in you. You will be given 2 minutes to present your speech. So please maximize the paragraph and follow the instruction given. You will be graded according to the following criteria. Content is 10%, creativity is 5, and language use is 5. And that will be a total of 20%. Next slide, please. Okay, I am very amazed with the presentation of each student, of each of you. It is very clear. It is very clear that everyone has employed the techniques, the factors in public speaking, which is a very essential, of course, in talking. It seems like you are all confident in public speaking, whether it is to entertain, to inform, or to persuade. Very good, class. Very good. Give yourself a clap, a virtual clap. Okay, thank you. Okay, now before we are reaching to end the class, I am going to give a identification task. It is a 5-item quiz. Applying what you learn in public speaking, you are tasked to identify the factors being asked in each question. Okay, number 1. It is the ability to create a connection between the speaker and the audience. Okay, number 2. It is the credibility of the speaker. Number 3, it is the logical arrangement of words or sentences. Number 4, it is the process of learning and memorizing the speech and making it natural. And lastly, it is the creation of the structure. Okay. Very good class. I will check. I assume everyone is finished with their quiz. I will give the score later on after this class. I will forward it to your LMS account as the clear class. Now, before we end the class, you are assigned to, it is an assignment. You are assigned to practice a persuasive speech from a book or the internet. Deliver the said speech tomorrow using the learning that you have gained about public speaking, which is the lesson for today. Okay, you will be graded according to the following criteria. First, you have the language style. Okay, thank you for that. We have the vocal delivery. And lastly, we have the physical delivery. Okay, I assume that will be all for today. And I hope you will be preparing for tomorrow, for your tomorrow's task, which is a delivering of speech. Thank you for today's class and God bless. Thank you.